There's always going to be something that you want better, and you can use that data point to grow. And in the process of it, also understand that you'll find what quality looks like to your audience, because the audience perception of quality may not be your perception of quality, especially if you're like me and you're always in your own head all the time, rambling to yourself about all the mistakes that you made and how it's going to be 100 times better tomorrow. Anybody here go through that, or is it just me? Okay, I'm not alone. Excellent. As I said earlier, your phone is good enough. Don't overthink the production. If your biggest problem right now is you just can't get started, or you feel like you're shy, or you feel like you want to do video, but you just can't bring yourself to do it, my challenge to you today is, after you leave this session, pull out your phone, shoot a video, even if it's 60 seconds, doesn't matter what it is, and tweet it at me. At Roberto Blake on Twitter, tweet it at me, because your phone is good enough. Your phone is better than the camera that Spike Lee had when he shot Do the Right Thing. Period. End of story. It just is. It's just truth. It's just truth. Every camera that I bought when I was in college, it's crap compared to this phone. I mean, that's just how it is. So go out there and create something awesome on your phone and tweet it at me, and I will comment on it, and I promise, I will be merciful. So let's talk a little bit about video production basics. I think that most of us know this, but if you don't, just take a quick screenshot of it with your phone, because this is very valuable in terms of, like, what do I actually do when I hit record. Before you hit record, just make sure that you've got your lighting, whatever that looks like. Most people use a 2-point lighting system, but the point is you just need your lighting to make sure that people can see you clearly, or whatever it is that you have going on, that they can see it clearly, because otherwise it's a distraction. Check all of your equipment. There's nothing worse than thinking you got it and realizing the power was dead the entire time. Nothing worse than that. Been there, done it. I'm over it now. Maybe not, because I keep talking about it. So check all your equipment. Do an audio check. Audio is actually more important than your video quality, because audio is a passive experience, but it's also an experience where it's like, we can suffer through something looking less than perfect, but don't make our ears bleed. We don't want that. It's like, it's got to be good, you know? By the way, thank you to all the audio engineers for making sure that this audio doesn't suck right now. Thank you so much for that, because it matters. Review your notes and script. Just do that once over before you go on camera, and do all of your prep work. In my case, my prep work is Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, so that's my prep work. Warming up my mouth, making sure that the noises coming out of it are coherent and easy enough to follow. Check your framing and composition. Make sure that, you know, you're not sitting there thinking that, oh, this is beautiful, this is perfect, and then it turns out that we see this much of your head. You just want to check those things. And that's where having somebody else that can help you might be really good, because you have another pair of eyes. Because if you're worried about your on-camera performance, maybe you're not able to check all these things by yourself. For me, that was one of the struggles getting started, was how could I master this with what I had, which was me. I was all I had to rely on. Some of you might be in that same situation, or you might be the only person in the office that really believes in video, and you might have to do everything yourself. You may not be able to win people over to help you, so you have to figure out what you can do to just get it as good as possible on your own as your starting point, and then you can go from there. And then maybe your equipment helps with that, just depending on what you get. Use the equipment to get out of your way. If it helps get something out of your way, then it's the right equipment. It doesn't matter what it costs. It doesn't matter if it's cheap or if it's expensive. If it makes it easier for you to just hit record and be satisfied with what comes out the other end, it's the right gear.